All right, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, Salakia, 28, going down to verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore. No man shall save thee. Okay? Look at Black Wall Street, man. You know, Black Wall Street never got restored. Okay? I don't know if they didn't get reprimanded for what happened or nothing like that, but Black Wall Street got burned to the ground. And you know, it's one of those things that people don't talk about today. You know, just like I said before, people don't talk about the Negro babies getting fed to alligator meat, okay? And Esau was boasting about that. He made postcards about it. I think in the thing that I read, he made a song about it, figurines about it. You know? Let's read it again. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. Okay? Now let's look up that word grope. R-O-P-E. It says feel about, search blindly or uncertainly with hands. Okay? So you know, some of us, Jake, are put in situations where we don't know what's gonna happen, man. You know? You're in a financial situation, you don't know what's gonna go on. Your job situation, your job talking about it's gonna go out of business soon. You don't know how you're gonna get you a job, if you're gonna find another job, you know? And that's because you had that lack of education. You weren't educated like Esau, you know? The majority of Jake are, you know, basically hands-on, you know? All right, now you do have some, you know, who are nurses and stuff like that, who can go to different places and, you know, travel. But, you know, the majority of Jake, factory work. You know, the majority of Jake, you know, I do transportation for a living, you know, and I admit that's the only thing I really know how to do. So if I lose my license, you know, I'm going to be like, okay, what am I going to do? You know? And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Okay? How many Jakes try to start businesses? Okay? All right? And if you are a Jake and you do try to start your own business, and if you want to make it, you know, Esau is going to come up to you and be like, all right, I give you this amount of money, you know, but first you got to do this, you got to do that. I see a lot of bugged out Jake, man. You know? I saw this guy down the street. He owns a vegan restaurant. And you look at him, it's like, wow, he looked like he gave his soul to Esau, or gave his soul to the devil. You know, I mean, he's thriving, but I mean, I may be wrong, but I mean, it's the majority. Look at the superstars and stuff like that, man. That's the best example. The superstars. See what happened to Kobe Bryant. All right, LeBron James, superstars. Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes. You know, Justin Bieber. I believe Justin Bieber is a J, because the brother can sing, man. The brother can sing. Justin Timberlake, hey, that brother, he may have the skin of a so-called Edomite, but hey, the brother can sing, man. He got soul. Okay. There was another verse. Let's see here. I wanted to get into. Okay. Let me bring out 1 and 28. Deuteronomy 1 and 28. Okay. And it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I commanded this day, that the Lord will set thee on high above all nations. It says all nations. Okay? All nations. What are countries? Countries are nations. Okay? Countries are nations. You got the nation of Russia. Okay? You got Iran. Okay? You got France, Europe. Well, the countries in Europe. Those are nations. You got NATO, which a whole bunch of nations are together. Okay? But it says in scriptures that, and it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord will set thee on high above all nations. But we didn't do that. That's why we're under the curses right now. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why we're under the curses right now, because we did not hearken to the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High told us to do. Okay? Now let's go into that word hearken. Okay, hearken means to listen. Okay? And scripture does it not say my people are a stiff-necked people? Meaning you don't listen. Okay? But you'll listen to these words of these soothsayers that are in these fake churches today. T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Jesse Duplantis, Joe Osteen. Y'all listen to them. But now, when it comes to these laws, statutes, and commandments, y'all won't listen to it. And that's why you so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics are under the curses today. Because y'all don't listen. Y'all do not hearken. The Most High said you are a stiff-necked people. And I know, me being a so-called Negro, I can tell you, hey, that definitely pertains to my people. As a matter of fact, let's get that verse. Now remember, the word hearken means to listen. Actually, I got it right here. Exodus. Oh, okay, I got it right here. That's the spirit. Exodus chapter 32. All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 32. All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 32. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Who does that pertain to? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, because we have not hearkened to the law, statutes, and commandments that the Most High commanded us to go by. Stiff-necked people. Okay? Stiff-necked people. I went to a church the other day to pick up a client, and the majority of the people that go to that church are Israelites, so-called blacks and Hispanics. Okay? But yet you have a so-called, I don't know who's the pastor over there, but I don't think it's a Jake. I think they have several pastors or whatever. It's called, what's that church called? Not Trinity. Man, what's that church called? Calvary. Yeah, Calvary. And I think they're owned by so-called white people, but I don't know if I think it's a group. But I went to that church, man. They got cafeterias, they got a school, everything. And they had, when you go to that school over there, the majority of the people that go to that church are mainly blacks and Hispanics. But the majority of the people that go to the school are not black and Hispanics. Okay? They're so-called all whites. You know? So the Jakes that are going to that church are paying for that school, giving that church money. Okay? But when you go to the school, it's only a majority of white kids going there. You know? And you Jakes, you Israelites are being fooled, man. You putting money in their pockets, you know, but you're not hearkening to the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. If you hearken to these laws, statutes, and commandments, you don't have to go to church. And the majority of the Jake that go there are women. All right? It's crazy, man. Let's go to the book of Acts 7. Let's go to the book of Acts 7 and 7:51. Again confirming, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, you do always resist the Holy Spirit, as your fathers did. So do ye. Okay? So you rejecting the truth, man. You rejecting these, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are rejecting the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? You still on that Jesus virgin bullcrap. I mean, Virgin Mary bullcrap. Salaki, I said Jesus virgin. I mean, Virgin Mary bullcrap. Okay? You are in the wrong doctrine, man. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the real Hebrew Israelites. Okay? Your pork chop eating, soothsaying preacher is fooling you. Got a picture of white Jesus in the church. Scriptures clearly say he had feet like burnt brass. When you burn brass, what color is it? It's not white. Definitely not white. Can you burn anything that turns white other than the smoke? I mean, come on. You should have learned that in science class. Okay? And for you simple-minded people, let me go to the verse that proves that. Because, you know, you got some people, oh, yeah, well, in a dream, I saw him, he had flowing hair. Well, demons, well, you had demons on you. Probably still do. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get into that right now. You know what? Let me stay on this stiff neck thing first. So like I'm jumping around, but let's stay on this. Let me see how much time I got on my camera. All right, I got like a few minutes. I'm gonna have to change cameras in a little while. But let's go to the book of Baruch. Okay, it talks about the stiff-necked people. Definitely, I know the so-called Negroes are stiff-necked from personal experience. All right, this is let me see, the book of Baruch. Let me see, I think that's. Okay, 102. All right, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 2. All right, the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. Okay, Let's start at 29. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. So that also proves who the real Hebrew Israelites are. Look at the transatlantic slave trade. We were scattered among the nations. All right? Some of us were scattered to Europe. Some of us were scattered, definitely came to America, especially the so-called Negro. You know? And now they call you a minority. The majority of Jake that live in the U.S., we are the majority. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. We outnumber the Europeans that are here. But yet they still call us a minority. Let me read that again. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into small. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. I want to read this clearly. If you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you were scattered among the nations. Look at the so-called Negro. The so-called Negro was taken from West Africa, brought to America. All right? And Esau knows, the so-called government knows, a lot of Hispanics are coming over here now. You know why? Esau's getting scared. Now he's trying to create these immigration laws. Okay? Because he knows that when you go into statistics, the so-called white race are not having as many babies as blacks, Hispanics, and blacks and Hispanics now. Okay? The blacks and Hispanics population has boomed, man. You know, we outnumbered the so-called white man now. But yet he still has us under subjection, mentally, financially. Why? And because we're under the curses as well. All right? So Esau is trying to make these immigration laws to send people back. Oh, I got like 4 minutes. Okay, I got to hurry up. If this camera runs out, Aki, I'm gonna set up another video. Okay? But yeah, he's creating these immigration laws now, trying to find people and send them back to their country. You know? All right? If he can do the so-called Negro like that, he would. He'll send us back. But, hey, Esau, you stuck with us now. You fucked up and gave us a security card, birth certificate. You stuck. Hey, you stuck. But, yeah, man. But let me get into that verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. Okay? You did not hearken. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. Okay? We're waking up right now. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are in this land of captivity. We are starting to wake up to the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Heavenly Father wants us to do through the teachings of other men who have helped put that seed in us. The Most High used them as a vessel. We see them on YouTube, and we go in there and we look at their lessons or whatever, and they plant that seed in us too. Okay? There's an awakening going on right now. All right? But Esau is starting to call that anti-Shemitic, just because we're waking up to who we are. Esau, you the one that's anti-Shemitic. Shem, when you look at the chart, Esau and Jacob came from Shem. Okay, as a matter of fact, dang, I didn't bring that map. I mean that I left it at home. But yeah, Esau and Jacob came from Shem. So Esau, you don't want anti-Shemitic, calling us anti-Shemitic. Putting lies on the media that we're shooting up synagogues and stuff like that, man. Esau know his kingdom is about to fall. That's why he's doing that. You know? But Shalom, I'm gonna end this video right here, and I'm gonna put up my other phone. So shalom, shalom.